Greetings, lovely people out there. I'm Comrade Mamaga Ashiagbor, the host for today's program. I welcome you all to IEL TV official. I have with me here Comrade Jidiaun from Chad, the host of Pan-African Profiles. Welcome to my show, Comrade.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
So we want to know more about the Pan-African Profiles. What is it about?
Pan-African provides training, ideological training for IEL members to master well what is Pan-Africanism. So in this program, we go through some Pan-African profiles to know what they realize, to know what should be done from what they left for us as Africans.
Okay, so what is Pan-Africanism about? Like, what is Pan-Africanism?
Pan-Africanism comes from two words, pan that means between and Africanism that means uh, an ideology that's bring together Africans. So this is the meaning, but the words come from one association put in place, but by one gentleman, a black man, a black descendant, that's which is Henry Sylvester Williams. He created an association called Pan-African Association. The association was created to defend African people that are spoiled by colonial powers of the land, especially in the southern area like South Africa, the now called Zimbabwe, Namibia, and other countries also. So when he put the association in place, uh, some intellectual Afro descendants came also to join him. So they organized the first conference, first Pan African conference in 19 in London, in Paris, to defend African values because there was at that time also a colonial show called put in place by colonial powers to convince the opinion of Europe to support the colonization of Africa. So those Africans from diaspora found it really uh, urgent to organize a conference and show the other face, the better face of Africa to the world. This is how the Pan-Africanism start as movement. But the man that will maybe forward, maybe put ahead this movement was Marcus Garvey. So he bring it to another level.
Okay, so what are some of you made mention of Pan-African profiles. So can we know some of the Pan-African profiles, like some examples of that?
Yes, there are many, and I can remind, I can. There are many, so I can't recall them all. But the background, the basic of Pan-Africanism came from Professor Lumumba. We have Arikana. We have people like in French speaking countries, Benin. We have Egonchi. We have Kemi Seba. A lot of them. So we still have them.
What do you think are some of the problems or challenges that the Pan-Africans are facing, or what are some of the problems which is affecting Pan-Africanism?
In my opinion, the worst thing that's affected Pan-Africanism is ideology. We don't agree on which ideological background to use. So, so we have many leaders that are lost in ideological ground. So, what we should maybe do today is to bring together these many organizations, leaders, to be in just one point of view how to save Africa, how to save the people of Africa. And that means we need to put in the ground of our struggle the black consciousness. If you don't have, we don't have black consciousness. If you don't have black nationalism as, because I see this philosophy are similar, whether you talk about black consciousness of Steve Biko or black nationalism of Malcolm X, it's the same thing. That means we must be in self-reliance. Self-reliance means not only in the economical ground, but in the ideological ground, we should have our own ideology and not still depends on other ideological talking about saving Africa.
So in your statement you made, what I figure out is we should get more ideologies and then more organizations. Is that not what you were trying to, put on board?
No, it's not like that. We don't need many ideologies or organizations because so much ideologies and organization means that we are divided, not united. And the point is to unite Africa. So what we need is to pick one ideology from our African, true African background, from our cultural point of view, from our history, and then build a powerful organization on it to bring about the true unity of Africa.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. In your statement, you made mention of Marcus Garvey. So I would love to know who is Marcus Garvey and why is he the face of Pan-Africanism?
Marcus Garvey is the founder of UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement, um, an organization that uh, bring together millions of people in the 1920s in United States and some countries in the diaspora. And even in Africa, we have some sections of Marcus Garvey, like Nigeria, Congo, I think Liberia. And he did so much for us that today, when we start talking about Pan Africanism, we can't skip the figure of Marcus Garvey because he did things in intellectual ground. He did things in economics. He did things in politics. He did in every area that is important for us. Marcus Garvey has done already many things. He put in place businesses. He bought boats to bring back Africans that are ready to come and build Africa. He put a virtual government for an African empire, in the 1921 Convention of UNIA. So he did many things that it's so fundamental for us to discover today and build on it in the 20th century.
Okay, so as you said, you can't skip some of his things he has made for us. So, what are some of the things we can specify, as in when we go out there, we can, get on touch to it to see that these are some of the things Marcus Garvey, like has done, like things we can see and then.
Okay. Marcus Garvey, if you have to take one example, is that he teach the black man self-esteem or self-reliance. We must be, first of all, proud of ourselves or of our skin, of our, I think, hair, So he has to, in the 1920s, he put in place an industry to make dolls, black dolls for uh, black children, because the children must learn first to love the color and when they are young, So when they grow up, they will still be proud of the color. If you see a child a black child that maybe playing with a white doll. She will not maybe be proud of her skin. And when she will grow up, she start to bleach her skin, these things. So this is a practical thing that Marcus Garvey teach us, realize, and it's a good example for us today.
Okay. So with all this that you made mention of are good examples. So what do you think with things that he has taught us that you made mention of color we should be proud of which is the complexion, hairs and all those stuff. What do you think is beating us off from maintaining what he taught us that I think would be a good a good thing to do. And then with that, what do you see that we have to do to put a stop to that so that we can stick to our old stuffs which would help us?
If I have to answer this question, I may say that we need really uh, the self-esteem that Marcus Garvey taught in those days. Because even today, we still have these complexion problems in our community. And even our government, if you know the complex about when they see these white people coming in our countries, uh, when they can't be really, they can't uh, rely on themselves because they think that the solution must come every time from outside of them, from, if I have to specify, from the white men. When you see them talking about international community, about international opinions, it's just talking about the United States or England or France, these countries. How, as a leader, you still rely on others, people, government to solve the problems of your people. This clearly shows that we still need the self-esteem that Marcus Garvey teach, taught us in those days.
Okay, so please can you kindly tell us when is the Pan African profile show be hosted again, and then where would it be held, and also the time as well.
The next Pan-African profile will be on Malcolm X, Black nationalism, on coming Friday at 7 GMT in the IL International WhatsApp group.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Shout outs to Connect Media Production for a lovely show today. Shout outs to MG Legendary Production. Shout outs to RM Press IOP, a great member of the IO organization. Shout outs to all IO members, both in Africa and the diaspora. Shout outs to all blacks out there. Stay tuned for our show next week, which is coming online. Stay blessed. Love you all. Bye bye.